Adekoya Boladale.
Boladale.
Yeah, who's a writer for Premium Times, Punch, Sahara Reporters as well. Welcome to Sahara Reporters. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So each time the federal government needs to make appointments, political appointments, the nation seems to be divided along tribal lines. Why do we keep having these occurrences every time the federal government needs to make political appointments?
I think majorly, it's more about perception. Nigeria is heterogeneous in nature. And for every individual, for every tribe, for every region of the country, they want to have a sense of belonging in the country. And that you can only have a sense of belonging when you are well represented within the federal system. When a government start passing a body language that is tilted towards a particular region of the country, a lot of people start getting agitated. They start feeling left out of the system. And that is the reason why when appointments are being made, the first point of call is, first, am I still part of this marriage called Nigeria? And then that is the major cap now that brings about people agitating. Is anybody from my region part of it? Because it has to do about, are they still part of the system? If you're no longer part of the system, then you can start agitating that you don't want to be that. Of course, since you're no longer part of the...
So having somebody represent where you're coming from, represent your ethnicity in political appointments shows, that you're being represented.
It brings the kinds of... It's just a sense of feeling. It's just a feeling, right?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do political appointments translate to regional development?
No, it doesn't. See, there are two separate things, and I don't want us to... I don't want us to match both together. We've seen in this country in 1999 to 2007, President Olusegun Obasanjo is from the Southwest region. He was the president of this country, and major development didn't take place in the Southwest region. Okay. Even when Goodluck Jonathan also was the president of this country, even in Bayelsa also was not developed. Good. So we also understand that. But the issue now is there's a difference between development and there's a difference between sense of belonging. Sense of belonging is when you have a federating unit like Nigeria is, and everybody have given a sign of their own sovereignty to be part of a system. They want to be assured at every point in time that they are within the system, that they are part of the system.
So it's not enough to have people represent you at federal levels, at the State House, at the at the National House of Assembly. You have various ministers, various senators, various House of Rep members. That's not enough. You still want to be part of the presidency. We have to understand that the president has a prerogative to decide who joins his cabinet. Okay, so if development does not come from whether or not your region is giving political appointments, then what's the clamor for?
Okay, let's understand this. When the founding fathers of this nation brought about the issue of federal character, I know a lot of people have, the large extent, they've criticized that system, and I think to a large extent is a noble idea. It might be retrogressive in nature because some people feel that a lot of people, I think, is also glaring that the capable hands might not get the position. However, I think the most important part of any system, any working system, is for the survival of that system. If there is no Nigeria, there is nothing for us to, there will be no nation for us to even talk about development, talk about being part of in its real sense. So first of all, every individual, every region in that country must be given a sense of belonging. And I keep saying this because if you have, okay, let's take for instance, the Nigerian military now. Well, that's one of the most powerful. And you decide that, okay, let everyone, because of competency, let everyone, because we feel let everyone comes from the north, because they have larger competence. What you're trying to tell us is that the security, the power, what actually counts as the power of the nation, you have given to a particular region. And you're talking about three regions now that made up Nigeria. That means you are telling the other two regions to be very to have a sense of to be very scared Because if you are given the military power to a particular region, they will have an edge over the two other regions. So these are part of the issues. It is not about, and I keep saying, it is not about people being part of the system in the real sense. It is about having competent individuals. You can't tell me in the whole of the Southeast, for instance, there is no more competent person that can represent that region in the cabinet. We saw
the narrative played out. I think Business Day accused the presidency of making appointments in favor of the North. Now, the presidency has come around to publish a list that did show that actually political appointments were in favor of the South. What is that tell you?
It's actually very comical because I saw the Business Day report and I saw the counter report from Femi Adesina. First and foremost, Femi Adesina, all of a sudden, because it's from the Southwest, was put forward to defend that for a tax that Garba Shehu have usually been taken care of. That is a political game. Well, I have no business. I have no problem with that, but I think that is not fair. Let's now look at the business. First, for any media platform and for media platforms such as the Business Day to have come out with that report is a knock on the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, because for a paper to have come out with such report, it shows that the division is glaring and is actually choking as well. And if you look at the report the Business Day did and the counter report from Femi Adesina, you can see that the Femi Adesina report is more of trying to water down the report of Business Day and not really giving the true nature of what is happening in the presidency. First, the list he gave were majorly southern appointees, and the real sense more than the northern appointees. But he did not give the full list. That is one. Secondly, I'm not really particular about if the South is more than the North or if the North is more than the South. What I'm more particular about is the key sectors, the key agencies, the key parastatals. Who are those holding those keys? Like I told you, I made mention of the Nigerian Army now, and I told you that for such sensitive position, it is important that every region, every federating unit have an input in it. Now, let's start with MPA. The head of MPA is a Northerner. NNPC, a Northerner. Custom, a Northerner. Immigration, a Northerner. Third fund, not third fund, Petroleum Development Fund, a Northerner. Now, if you look at the top 10 critical parastatals in this country, they are being headed by Northerners. Now, if you have an establishment and you make the whole management team come from a particular region, and the cleaners, the messengers, and the lights, the secretaries are from, you now spread that across the other regions. And you're telling me, oh, yeah, it's fair now. Those other ones are coming. Those other ones they are part of the system. They are not part of the system. Because if you are not part of the decision-making body of the system, you are wasting your time.
But why is it coming as a surprise to most Nigerians? Because this president has said that, of course, he would favor the region that gave him 95% of votes.
He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's not the president of the North. See, he would not have emerged the president if he did not get the vote he got from the South. I don't care if it's lower than the one he got. He would not have emerged president if he did not get that 5%. And the constitution is clear about that. He must have two-thirds majority in voting states. And the simple majority, he must have the majority vote, and also have votes from all federating units as well. So you cannot tell me, oh, because the Northerners. Oh, let's start for instance in 2003, he got a vote from the North. It didn't emerge. In 2007, he got a vote from the North. It didn't emerge. In 2010, 2011, 2012, he got a vote from the North. He got 12 million votes from the North. Didn't emerge. In 2015, he got votes from the north also, in the scale. But because the Southerners voted for him this time around, he emerged. So all of a sudden now, because they've been voting for who? That is the collective position. Every Nigerian had an input in it. And you cannot tell me that because some people voted for you in the large scale, they should put the rest of us into ransom. It's unfair.
Let me ask you this. Is compensating marginalized groups ahead of elections the only way to carry everybody on board?
You see, to me personally, I think the word compensating is tokenism to me. It doesn't make sense. What are you compensating for? We've seen, because of 2019 now, the president has been going around, is trying to pacify this. All of a sudden, he's making mockery of someone as revered as, what's his name, Dr. Adekoya. Yeah. Because of 2019, he's trying to pacify, like you said, pacify the Southeast for what? The same Southeast you left in limbo for over 2 years? Oh, okay, he said he's giving us the South. Okay, let's do first of Southwest. Apart from the Federal Inland Revenue Service that we have, and someone like the Vice President, who I would say this clearly also is more docile in that position than anybody in the cabinet. Apart from that, what else do we have in the Southwest? Oh, because he has given someone like someone appointed by Tinubu, an executive member of the Niger Commission. Who is the head of Niger, the NCC? And I was so disappointed. Someone like Femi Adesina, who I felt I probably have some degree of maturity and sensibility, putting that EC, executive committee member, putting that in the list of appointees. Why Why was preparing that list? Didn't you see the NPA? He prepared the list. He saw the NPA. He saw the Petroleum Trust Fund. He saw the NNPC. His custom is there. They all made up of Northerners. And he felt, oh, okay, now he was listening to South. He was listening as a member of committee. NNPC board. The whole of NNPC board, just 2. I'm not even sure they are up to 2. The rest are made up of not. Where are we getting the oil for crying out loud?
Now, if people like you are from the Southwest can agitate, can get boiled about matters like this, I wonder what people from the Niger Delta would feel, because the only thing that the president, I don't know if he's done anything in the Niger Delta, and we still have the Ogoni cleanup project, which has federally not done anything on. No, what he has. So how do you think he should approach matters, especially as this whole appointment thing does not benefit the Niger Delta people, and he's yet to even do anything for them?
I've read report by the Niger Delta Avengers, and the threats they've made. While I would not stand here to say that they have every right to go against the federal government, I will say that they have a right as well to the resources in their domain, and I feel that they should be treated equally. In a sane society, if you've been to the Niger Delta, these are not regions where people should live. In a sane society, they build in a system that works. Those areas where oil has been exported, either be developed massively, or they have to leave them and relocate them to a better place. But that, if you are relocating them to someone like let's say, Kogi now, that means they have to pay second feeders to people in Kogi. So they have issues, critical issues. So to me, I feel their demands are germane. It is really important that you are making money from those regions, and you are putting your people to. You see, it is surprising that someone like Chief Danjuma owns oil block. It is surprising that the Northerners are owning oil block. It is surprising that people are even owning oil blocks. Why are you giving the resources of these countries to individuals? It is surprising that someone like what's his name? Financial Lakita is oil block. Why? And this oil block license, they are not the people they are giving it to they don't even know jack shit about it. So it's more of giving it to your cronies. So to me, it doesn't make sense. Why don't you use money instead of giving oil blocks for people make money? They take percentage from this. Why don't you use those resources to develop those regions that you're making the oil from? And you expect those guys not to agitate? They will agitate. Lagos State, for instance, a lot of VAT is coming from Lagos State. How much are we getting? Lagos is asking for just a special status, and they've refused to give that. After we are now talking about that, they're now telling us that there's no restructuring. There's no restructuring. We are making all the money. They are taking all the money. They're telling us there's no restructuring. Is it done? Is that done anywhere in the world?
Have you read through the full list of the political appointments made?
Yeah, well, I've read majorly they are majorly Gubernatorial.
Do you think some of the appointees truly deserved to be appointed?
That's a big one. For you to have been appointed, for appointment president in this country, is majorly political appointment. And it's not majorly about your competence. Because if a government can appoint someone like Audu Ogbe as Minister of Agriculture, so what do you expect? So if a government can appoint someone like Kemi Adeosun as Minister of Finance, what do you expect? So it's not about your competency, it's not about what you can do. Amala Adamu that was appointed Minister of Education, he doesn't even fit into that. It's like putting the round peg in a square hole. It's just about satisfying, giving the supporters, the cronies, the avenue to make money. And we've seen what happened with the secretary to the government of the federation. Someone who doesn't even know how the system works. But when he got there, he became a sudden billionaire. Money meant for IDPs went to the roof.
To mark the March 2016 International Women's Day, President Buhari promised to reserve 40% of board appointees to Nigerian women. That promise hasn't been fulfilled, as we find less than 20% of females in his government. Is this to say that there are no competent women in Nigeria to come on board his administration?
See, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you are shocked. I will tell you why I'm surprised you are shocked. When this man was campaigning in 2015, he was virtually dragged out to bring his wife along. See, to people like Muhammadu Buhari, who may belong in the kitchen. And he said it. He said, my wife belongs in the bedroom. How do you expect? They feel they are super, they feel the women are inferior. So to them, it's even irritating when they have someone, a lady in the cabinet, to do what? If not because of agitations and outcry for gender inclusion in the federal cabinet, we would not have been there. So you now expect such person to now fulfill a 40? These are mere propagandas. I don't even count it. They're mere propagandas. If you are still expecting that to happen, you are wasting your time. It's not going to happen. So to me, I feel these are just little ones. 2019, they'll come up with better promises. They'll tell you 80%. They'll tell you 75%. They'll tell you even 90%. And they'll do nothing. At least we heard of a first lady being called Boko Haram by Yola Bomba or something. So you do expect even that is from the chief of staff.
Lastly, the presidency has said that it would, to appease political associates, it would expand its cabinet soon. Do you think that this is appropriate, especially coming after the economy has just recovered from a huge recession?
See, I don't get the APC as a party because obviously they don't have any ideology. And from what Muhammadu Buhari has done, it's obvious that that party has not only failed Nigeria. If that person is an individual, it should be tried. Because apart from being a 419, it's a gross misrepresentation of what the person is to be. I don't know what they call that now. Stealing under pretense. It is unfortunate for the party, for Buhari, when he came into power, and they told him first. They asked him, Mr. President, how come you've not appointed ministers? You know what he said? Ministers are just there to sign papers. Those who will do the work are the civil servants. 1. 2. The same APC preached during the campaign that they were going to minimize capital expenditure capital expenditure. When they came into government, they've done the opposite of that. That is 1. Secondly, the federal executive should only accommodate 36, representing each state in the region. Tell me, where do you want to put the rest? Because these are questions we are asked. They said, oh, because we want to minimize expenses, we are fusing three ministries together. They turned Babatunde Fashola into a super minister, and they gave him 3 portfolios. But still yet, they made up for the 36. Now, That means you want to, let's say for instance, they have to cut, they have to divide the portfolio of someone like Fashola. That means they have to appoint 2 more people. That means the cabinet runs to around 38. Now, look at the overturn of that. How much? Because for every minister you appoint, a minister will definitely have SA, PA. PA, that means you have to provide security, protocol, you have to buy new vehicles, accommodation, they have to have office equipment, they have to have staff. What is the overhead cost of that? What's the overhead cost of that? How does it reflect in the budget that they are already padding? So you're telling me if you are already running the expenditure of over 60% of our budget, if that is going to expenditure, are you not telling me that it has to increase around 80% now? Because don't forget also, because these individuals that you have appointed, if they are going, you're also going to pay them what do you call this now? You're going to pay them severance. You're going to pay them severance. So who is going to pay that? From the pocket of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or from his own personal pocket? Because I know he has cows, but I don't know the market value of the cows he has. But definitely I know it's not enough to even buy one of the vehicles in Presidential fleet. Right? So who is going to be responsible for that? We Nigerians, from our home money, and they're telling us that all this, because all of a sudden there's an increment in the price of the crude oil in the market. They feel they cannot spend their money anyhow. These are people criticizing the last administration for not having the foresight to save. So they cannot save now that we are having enough. It is preposterous.